Rolling. Cool. Yeah. I don't know. I wanted to watch something today that I wasn't sure. I actually set out today to watch a movie that I've been meaning to watch for a while, and I'm such a cheap motherfucker. I found out that I have to pay a whole $3.99 to watch it. So that's a pretty big deterrent right there. So I decided to settle on a different movie. I forget what the movie is called. I just literally Googled it 2 minutes ago and found out that it's on Amazon, but it's on Amazon for a rental. But it's got Nick Mullen in it. The one guy from the podcast called Come Town, which, I have a lot of inspirational sources I draw from, and Come Town is one of them. Nick's fucking breakdowns of Steven Seagal movies, and there's an episode where they're watching the bridge over the River Kwai. Yeah, they're fucking funny, man. They're great. They're Stavros Halkias and Adam Friedland are comedians as well, and they do a pretty fucking good job. They do a bang up job on making me laugh. I don't think I'm necessarily setting out to be funny like they are, but I'm trying, doing what I can. I'm fond of what I've been doing. I really hope that this translates well to everybody else. That I do feel that I'm getting better at being on mic and doing a little bit better at staying on topic, like finding that good mix of like coffee and marijuana to kind of keep my mind sharp but not too rambly. And if I go on a tangent, it at least somehow circles back to what I was talking about in the beginning, which it's getting easier doing that. I have kind of a clear-cut idea how I want to run each segment, even though, I'm going to stumble here and there. I'm going to sound like an idiot once in a while. So just kind of getting used to it, rolling with the punches. But I'm having fun with this, and I hope that everybody that's listening is having fun with this, too. I don't know if anybody's even listened to more than one or two of these episodes, but goddamn if I'm not having fun making them. So, a little round of applause for myself. But yeah, and then one of these. Because, after all, I am sitting in a room by myself reviewing movies about absolutely goddamn nothing. And I don't even know why. But I'm having fun with it. Alright, so today, I'm watching a movie on Prime. It's a Prime original. It's called The Lost City of Z. I like adventure shit. It's one of those ones where, big fan of the Indiana Jones movies. Any time there's like a kind of like a blockbuster thing, like National Treasure, I'm a fan of, just because it's a nice fun adventure movie and it takes place in Philly, places I've been. That's another big draw for me. There's this really good movie that kind of got swept under the rug, but it's got a lot of people in it, and it's really good. It's this movie called Sahara, and it's got Matthew McConaughey in it, and the one dude from I think National Treasure as well, but he's the guy from The Hangover. And I think Steve Zahn's in it at some point too. But yeah, there's a fucking ton of quality actors in it, and it's a fun movie. I like a movie that doesn't mind just being like, hey, look, this is gonna be a lot of action and it's gonna go a lot of places, but at the end of the day, it's like just enjoy yourself, like have fun with it, and it's like that kind of translates better than somebody trying to write something that's poignant and just kind of completely losing sight or focus of what like the end goal was, because they realized like their poignancy kind of comes off as campy or bullshit when translated to film. So the action adventure genre is a fond one of mine. Like I said, and I'm not opposed to films that try to like at least have a message if they're going to do like the action adventure thing. Indiana Jones doesn't really like. I hate to keep referencing Red Letter Media, but like they do a pretty good job breaking down like why Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is just a god awful fucking movie, and it's because there's a lot of political shit that's kind of shoehorned into it, which I don't think is necessary. They do a good job of like portraying Indiana Jones as kind of this neutral party. He's just interested in getting, his whatever he's looking for, like whatever his objective is, whether it be, saving the Ark of the Covenant from Nazis or, rescuing, people or whatever. I forget what the fuck he needs to rescue in Temple of Doom. And then I need to watch the Connery one again too. I love all three of those fucking movies. They're so good. Everybody trashes Temple of Doom too. Temple of Doom is a fine movie, and one of these days I will get my buddy Mark on this so that we can argue probably about Blade Runner, because me and him have hotly contested each other's opinions on Blade Runner, and I would love to get him on this to fucking argue for like an hour straight and try and get the record settled. But nah, like he tells me that he thinks it's like the weakest of the Indiana Jones movies. And he thinks it's weaker than the Crystal Skull, which, I mean, he needs to get his fucking head examined. He does take a lot of punches at work because he trains Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for a living and does media for his gym. I think it's Zephyr Performance Training. I don't know, whatever. Shout out Mark Job. So yeah, I think like Temple of Doom is one of those ones where, even though it's not like it's kind of, you know, by modern standards like a little racist, I guess, if you want to, you know, perceive native like indigenous Indian, not like Native Americans, but like indigenous like Indian people from like India or Pakistan, wherever the fuck they're supposed to be. They're like these backwards ass snake eating, monkey brain cuisining on volcano worshipping back ass like hillbillies, pagans, I guess. I don't fucking know. Like that whole movie is muddled, but that's kind of the fun of it. The fun of Indiana Jones is like just having these kind of whack backdrops in which you get to have an adventure. Like, yeah, he's in Egypt and he's punching Nazis and he's kind of like existing in this realm of like a world war going on, or I guess like amping up, in exchange for him like trying to seek the truth and, you know, uphold like certain moral pillars of like, you know, keep not letting history get like trounced upon by like, you know, fascism, I guess, and like allowing it to, because like there's a greater benevolence in like being able to use these things as like tools to learn. I think that's kind of the message of what it is, but ultimately, like when you boil it down, it is kind of fun to watch some dude just punch Nazis and you know, beat guys with scimitars and shit. Like I don't fucking know. It's fun. It's dumb and it's mindless, and I enjoy it. I'm not a fucking snob, I guess, but you know, I do enjoy me some mindless shit here and there. And then there was another one that I was thinking of too. I said Sahara already. That was good. National Treasure was pretty good. You know, I've also, this kind of seems like one where, The Lost City of Z, I just watched the, you know, a little bit of the preview and it looked alright, so I got it queued up here. But it does appear that it's someone that's like at the turn of the century. They're making contact with some like undiscovered people or tribe or some shit like that. Interested to see how that goes. I have actually gotten quite into the clickholes about cargo cults lately, because a couple of years ago there was some Christian fellow that thought he was going to go to North Sentinel Island and bring them the word of God, and got promptly fucking lit up with arrows. And yeah, like it always kind of like there's a certain amount of like brazenness to think that like not only am I going to like conquer the sea, I'm going to like go into uncharted areas across like vast expanses of open water, and like it's not that I'm just gonna go there and like enjoy the adventures of travel or like the perils of you know, like seafaring and shit like that. Like, no, I'm gonna go and like I'm gonna impose my will on strangers, and there's something about that to me that's just like, all right, you know what, I'm kind of with it. There's this fucking movie with Mel Gibson in it. I can't remember, where he goes to French Polynesia. My friend nicked it. There was like titties for like 45 minutes in that movie. It was so fucking great. And I think they end up on Guam or some shit. I forget what the fuck it was, but yeah, there's a very good. That's another good movie. Fuck, I'm gonna have to ask him what that is. Oh, and like Apocalypto too. Even though Apocalypto isn't really outright one of those, it's a fun movie. It's like that's an action adventure movie that is kind of like, it's dramatized for certain reasons, but like fuck, the creative liberties they took, I could give two shits. It's a really fucking good movie, and it's a really well made movie too. And there's a lot of things that go on in that movie that go unsaid, which like if you know, everybody just takes it at surface level and gets mad at Mel Gibson because he made a entertaining fucking movie, you can go fuck yourself with that. It's a great fucking movie. Who cares if it's historically inaccurate? It's fun, and it has drama, it has a story arc, and it says things without having to fucking say things, because subtitles and nuances don't get picked up by most people in America and, broader audiences. But like with all that, before I get off on shoot myself in the foot here, yeah, we're watching The Lost City of Z on Amazon Prime. So let's see what this fucking thing does. Well then, fucking hell, this is gonna be another short one. Sorry, the quality of this has gone down. I've been trying to watch different movies, but yeah, I'm just not fine. Like, I thought this was gonna be captivating or something, but no. Yeah. Well, let's just get right into it. Lost City of Z. Okay, so two things. I will say, pretty good acting. Not remarkable, not bad, but I think with the source material, this film felt very misguided, and the only kind of unifying thing was that the actors at least took it seriously. They took it seriously enough where I believe that they were immersed in the roles that they were in, and like, that was authentic. It felt believable. But some of like the situations that they're just put in, I had to spend the last like 15 minutes googling this guy. All right, so Charlie Human, that British guy from Sons of Anarchy, he's in this fucking movie, and he plays a guy named Colonel Fawcett, who's in the British Army and signs up for expeditions, or gets ingratiated with an expedition by the British Army, and they're trying to map the fucking river to figure something out, and yeah, they end up finding some shit. He goes back to Britain, asks for some time and money to go try and further explore some shit. He thinks he can find some kind of lost civilization. Everybody's like, you're just looking for El Dorado. And he's like, well, yeah, kind of, but it's not like for what you think. I think there's like some missing, human, I guess, like, he wasn't going with evolution. I don't know how to explain it. Like civilization, I guess. Like, yeah, he's like, there's some kind of like link civilization that may exist in this area of whatever the fuck river he's in. I forget what country he's in. Uruguay, maybe. I know they mentioned Brazil a bunch, but it's not in Brazil. Maybe Chile. Fucking who knows. They dwell so little on the interesting aspects of this film, though. Oh, the number two thing. I will say that the setting was very good. It wasn't like forced, but it's supposed to be like turn of the century. It's not very modern, and they use kind of like limited shit, but they for what it's worth, they make a field look like an authentic World War I trench at one point. The river feels very genuine to, like, the South American lowlands, I guess. Yeah, very, very well done. Which I guess, that being said, I'm going to jump into some of the negative shit. Yeah, alright, so the scenery and settings that they put all these characters in are beautiful. They're magnificently fucking, like, it's, nature for the most part. Like, I mean, the World War I trench, I guess, is like, set design and shit. And the guy's house is, whatever. They have these, like, brief intermittent periods in the movie, or I say brief, but like, they have these intermittent periods in the movie where it's just like something's going on in Britain, or he's back in Britain for whatever reason. And they just have these like long drawn out bureaucratic ramblings for like 10 minutes at a time, if not longer, where just nothing happens except it's like, hey, I need more money. Okay, well, you sound crazy. He's like, well, I am kind of crazy, but trust me on this. And they're like, all right, fine. Like, you got enough merit to do it. Like, I understand that there's like a certain amount of like, bureaucracy that you have to go through to get funding and shit like this. But like, you don't need to watch every fucking minute of the it just drags in the boring parts. So then the interesting parts do come around, where he's like, back in South America, and he's got his good pal fucking Twilight, what's his name, Robert Pattinson. Robert Pattinson's in tow. they were on the first expedition, barely made it out with their lives, but found some shit. So on the second one, after getting the blessing from the upper, they go back and they get a little bit further. But then there's this fat guy that insists on coming with them, and he fucks it all up. So then they go back home, get their pantsuit off, about to go back. World War One happens. Fucking, he goes to war, gets a gas attack, blinded for a little while. Then basically negotiates his way into going back with private funding, I guess, and then just says like fuck this, brings his son, and then they just eat their way into the jungle and never return. And then like I said, I spent the last like 10. So I know I don't try to like overly do the synopsis in this shit, but like I feel the need that I need to at least explain a little bit of it because there's so little going on in this fucking movie. Yet it's like kind of a complex film, like in many ways, but it's not very. It doesn't set out to be an action movie, even though it's marketed as one. It's more of like a drama, where like it's both like a good mixture of internal and external drama. But even like as a drama, it's not interesting enough of a drama, or at least they don't like set things up in a way where it becomes interesting to the viewer. You just get this kind of muddled, I keep using that word too much, but you get this ambiguous mess, really, so the family struggle is kind of but then at the end he reunites with the son, but then there's another family struggle that happens, kind of like that he's not like a party to, or it's just like the wife being bummed that he's disappeared, but like he's disappeared with his son who he was like trying to get. Like it doesn't come off very clean, and it takes too long to get there. So you're like, all right, I'm already fucking checked out on this aspect of the story. But then like, all right, even though that's boring, it does kind of set things up for everything else. But like it's so underwhelming. There's like these very brief moments of like action, and it's like very sporadic and very awkward. Not that it's not well shot, and not that it's it's very well executed. There's a very high-end production, but it just does not come across as like interesting enough for you to give a shit. And I mean, I know I was comparing this to like Indiana Jones in the beginning of this. I wasn't expecting it to be Indiana Jones. I was expecting it to be like a dialed back Indiana Jones, which it was for about half the movie, and then you realize like, oh, they're just gonna keep doing the same like rinse and repeat cycle for the rest of the film. And even though it just like it gives it balance, it doesn't really satiate the viewer. It didn't make me happy. I was just bored. I had to pause about 20 minutes in at first, then did something, came back to it, watched about another hour and 15 minutes of it, and I was like, it's got to be like almost over. No, there's like another half hour of it, and like, it doesn't give you a very conclusive ending either. Like, clearly, they give you like a little blurb at the end about what happened with the dude's life. But like, all of the interesting shit that I guess this guy is kind of like infamous for, Fawcett that is, it's like, dude, if you just focused on that, or even, kind of like offered it as like a more satisfying supplement, it would maybe make the film make a little more sense. It would give you a little more to like chew on at the end, because it does kind of leave you with this very vague he disappears into the jungle, and that's the fucking thing. He's got his son with him, but it's apparently fucking like they both disappear. It's his first adventure, and he gets fucking lost with his dad, whatever. So I just like, just because it didn't do it any fucking justice, and it's far more interesting than this fucking film. I'm gonna talk about this dude's some of the speculation that happened with Fawcett and his son. So the way the film concludes is that there's this like token, it's like a compass thing that he's supposed to give to the guy that sent him out on the original expedition, and then that is going to be like the signal that he found the place and he liked it so much that he stayed. So in the film, not only does the wife claim that like he's been spotted, but like living with the natives and shit, but like she says that this dude from Brazil gives her this compass thing, and then the guy's like, that's the signal, but I guess it's because of like some secret society shit. They're not allowed to kind of disclose that information to her, or at least like not really in the way. She kind of knows it's a signal. Like, I don't think that she's like oblivious to it, but I don't think he can like go into detail like the extent of it. But yeah, in real life, that thing was found in a pawn shop, and what they assumed happened was they do a kind of okay job setting it up in the film. It could have gone into a little bit more detail because I didn't realize like how contingent the real dude's life was on this apparently, and they don't really set it up in a way like they nod at it, and then like there's one scene, but yeah, apparently like he was very weary like traveling the river, especially going to these like rather uncharted areas that he's been navigating, but like not really like they're not areas he's familiar with. He's charting uncharted land, like literally. So he always thought it was like pragmatic to have like gifts and things you could give to people so that you come off as you come in peace. You're not being interpreted as a threat or a conqueror or anything to the effect of that. So yeah, they like draw attention to it in one scene, and then he comes back and he gives his one son the gift from the one tribe, or whatever. But there's like more to it than that, and like the real Fawcett guy, like I said, he was like very weary of traveling without these gifts. And the last trip he took, there's speculation whether or not he lost, like in a, I guess just like a freak accident or something, whether or not he lost portions of his gifts, like stuff that he wouldn't feel comfortable traveling without. And he may or may not have been captured and killed by a cannibal tribe or just a tribe. I forget which one it said, but what they think happened was he didn't have anything to ingratiate himself with into the tribe, and they killed him. But it was like more of like it wasn't like a ritualistic thing. It was like a dishonor, like a disrespect thing. So it was interpreted as a murder. Or at least the verbiage that is on Wikipedia kind of explains it that way, which like is fucking interesting. Like it is, the 1920s after all. I guess shit, there are laws, like even lawless like areas and shit. Like they have civil obedience to a certain extent. So like it was like like a murder. And there was like no real investigation into it, but then there's like all these like kind of like trickle down theories about what happened, like which tribe did it and like what was the method in which they were disposed, because like some are saying they were like buried, and then some were said that they were thrown into a river, and then there's this one dude who claims that like through forensic DNA or something like that, he has like his son's skeleton or some shit, and he just has it in his apartment in Brazil. But that was like a separate conquistador, or not a conquistador. What the fuck am I saying, motherfucker? We gotta use that. Gotta use it once a fucking episode at least. I don't know. I like the fucking noises. I'm not doing that bad. But anyway, fucking one trick pony, two trick pony, I guess. Yeah, all right, three trick pony. Hey, here we're back. All right. But yeah, like. Apparently, like, there's like a lot of expeditions set out to like not only rescue this guy. They claim in the movie that it's 100, and that apparently in like a lot of the historical research, it's been whittled down to one explorer who went out to look for him and he never came back or some shit. They claimed it was 100. It was only one, and then what else was the other thing? Yeah, there was like other separate expeditions. The guy that has what is allegedly the son's skeleton in his apartment or whatever, that guy went on an expedition, not in search of the guy, but apparently he was like looking for whatever the fucking town is, not Machu Picchu, that's the one in Peru. Fucking Cusco? No, where El Dorado? That's what it is. Fucking El Dorado. But yeah, fucking yeah, I got there eventually. No, the guy he was just like money hungry. He wanted to go find gold, and he figured this guy had like a pretty good hunch on where it might be. Went looking for him. Apparently found a skeleton. But like, I don't like if they got thrown in the river. It's like the easiest way to get fucking caught. Like just figure out where the source that like it's not. I don't know. There's a lot to this that I'm like much more fascinated in than like what I just saw. And like this guy was like an interesting dude. Like multiple expeditions to all over the world, mostly South America. But the guy was a World War I veteran that survived a mustard gas attack. He was a high-ranking colonel, I think, towards the end of his military career, and he disappeared into the fucking jungle. Like, this should be, like, on paper, this dude's life is fucking interesting. Oh, and he, like, befriended natives, like, to the point of, like, being able to negotiate a foreign land with, rather impunity. Like, I mean, he did run into some peril, but, like, from what I understand, he survived till his mid 50s, continuously going back over there and doing the same trek. Like I don't know. I don't know how the fuck they could underdeliver so hard on this film, but it did, and it's on Prime. I don't think it's a Prime original. I think there was like a couple of production companies involved with it actually, but yeah, it was not good. It was really not good. I'm gonna wrap this up because I don't want to just keep bitching about it. I'm already 5 minutes over what I wanted to talk. But yeah, I frankly, I enjoy an adventure movie. I just would rather the adventure, like, if you're gonna have an adventure movie, keep it to an adventure movie with maybe like a little zest of drama in there to, like, kind of create tension. But this was like three different fucking movies combined into one, and it's 2.5 fucking hours long. So like, if you want to watch what should be a double feature or possibly a mini series like Downton Abbey meets Indiana fucking Jones, where nothing happens, feel free to watch The Lost City of Zed. But if not, I'm not probably gonna watch this one again. Charlie Hunnam's a good Hunnam, whatever, that guy. He's a good actor. Same with Robert Pattinson. They're both like decent fucking actors, and they brought their A game. It's just underwhelming film. Yeah. So thanks for listening.